Okay, so Lydia stopped by the other day, and while she was here, she helped me trim Ellie's nails. And before we did the nail trim, she did a little bit of work with the It's Your Choice game. So we started this at the beginning of her stay and have done it most every day since she's been here, and she's doing really well. And you can use this game and this behavior for a lot of different things. So initially, I started using it just as a way to be able to sit on the floor with treats in my hand and have her make a polite, calm choice. And you can see Lydia's going to go ahead and use it for starting to condition her to opt into a nail trim. We also use it a lot for puppies who mouth our hands when we're putting on collars or jump around while we're trying to connect leashes to collars. It's really good for that too. So how we're going to start using it for her nail trim is you'll see in a minute here. So Lydia is doing the same thing I did. We have 2 hands full of treats on either side of her head. When she tries to go for the treat, we close the hand and we're just sitting and waiting. Once we get the eye contact, that's what she's treating for. So Lydia's gonna start moving her hands closer to the dog, to Ellie's feet, and she's just looking for eye contact. Once she gets eye contact, she gets treat. Lydia will start to touch Ellie's paw. When Lydia touches the paw, then we're looking for eye contact, then we get a treat. Then we'll progress to picking up the paw. If we're holding the paw and we're getting eye contact, we stop and give treats. So we're just using it, and here she's being precious and adorable. So we're just using it as a way to get our dogs to opt into something, whether it's opting into letting me put the collar on you while you sit still, or whether it's you letting me trim your nails as you sit still. So I'll let you just kind of watch and see how she does. She does really, really well, and she actually does amazing for nail trims. If we have 2 people to hold her, but this is always a good direction to go. It's always helpful to be able to do a nail trim with just one person, but it also starts that relationship with trust and handling in kind of strange ways. So she does great though, as always. She's lovely. Okay, so here's us working on touch. And since you guys already know what it is, and she already has a really good one, I'm just going to kind of use this video to to explain what we might be able to use this behavior for long term. So one of the things that we could use it for is for tricks down the road. You can transfer the marker from your hand to something else, so she can nose target a light switch. She can nose target different objects, balls, different things to just do fun tricks with. I also like to use it sometimes when I'm teaching leash walking skills, to keep dogs in a heel position or to have them kind of move along as we're on a walk. But the thing that I think would be the most useful for Ellie here is to use it as an alternative recall. So our dogs are called a lot. We call them a lot for a lot of different things. Some of the things we call them for pays off, and some of the things doesn't. So a lot of times our recall can become not as concrete, not as reliable, if you will. So I like to throw touches in as a secondary recall. That way they're not doing the same behavior, but I'm still able to get her to me if I need her. Whether it's an unsafe situation, running into the street, or whether it's just I have to leave for the store and she's outside the backyard and she doesn't want to come inside. So I like to mix them up. I still want to teach her a recall word. I still want to use that and have her know that because I think it's an important skill to have. But while we're working on it, throwing some of the touches in there. She also really loves to do this behavior. She gets really excited about it, and she can be really successful at it. So as you can see what I'm doing here, I'm just kind of tossing some treats out, and then I'm asking her to do a touch from farther away. And we'll kind of do that in the backyard a little bit, and we'll do it in different places. So it just becomes an alternative way for me to get her to come to me when I really need her to. Okay, so here we are working on some of that place work that we have been. And she's doing amazing. So she's really gotten the concept down of what I'm asking her to do. So I'm able to be 2 to 3 feet away from the cot and her still get on. I'm even able to do a lot of movement and have her stay on the cot even though I'm moving. So all of these things have progressed so great, so well. She's done really well. So this is the session that I go ahead and add the verbal cue to. So once my dog knows the behavior, I'm just attaching the verbal cue to behavior she already knows. So I'll do it here in a few minutes, but I'll kind of point out a few of the things I'm doing. So here I'm about 3 feet away from the mat. She has plenty of space to get off the mat and sit in front of me on the floor, but she knows to stay on her place. So she does great there. Here, not only am I about 2 feet away, but my feet are not facing the mat, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but she has definitely struggled with it in the past, and it looks a lot different to dogs than we think. So here I'm doing a little bit of turnarounds, kind of taking a few steps away, and I'm just going back in and treating her for not moving. If I see her kind of pop up, like right there, I turned around as quick as I could, and she was like, oop, nope, I stay. We end on a good note, and I make sure to release her. All done before she gets off. Okay, so here's that verbal cue. Okay, so you'll notice that I didn't ask her to do it until she was already moving towards the mat. So if she was over here eating treats, I wouldn't have said place and expected her to go. I'm just pairing the word to the behavior. So when she moves towards the mat, that's when I go ahead and say place. So I want to make sure she's already going to get on the mat because I want to pair the new word with the old behavior. So when she moves towards it, I say place. She is already getting on, so she continues. Then I mark and treat like usual. And then this video is just her being precious at the empty dog park this morning. And I just needed to add something so I could continue explaining place. But she's also the cutest, most precious little angel. Look at her go. She's having so much fun. We really do love her so much. She is such a good girl.